We'll start with the tissue system. So based on the structure and location, tissue systems are three types. In the previous sections we learned about the types of tissue present in plants, but now we'll see the tissue system. So based on the structure and location, the tissue systems are of three types. The first one is epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. Okay. So the three types of the tissue system based on structure and location are the epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system and vascular tissue system. Okay. Now we come to the epidermal tissue system. Now this epidermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of the whole plant body. So epidermal tissue system forms the outermost covering of the whole plant body. Okay. And it comprises epidermal cells, stomata and epidermal appendages like trichomes and hairs. So you can see here, this is the outer layer, this is the cuticle present. Okay, this is the trichome. Okay, here in some parts hairs will also be present, and this is the stomata. Okay, so stomata, epidermal cells, these all are the epidermal cells. Okay, the green one you can see are the epidermal cell. So it comprises of epidermal cells, stomata, this stomata and the trichome or hairs. Now what do you understand by epidermis? Now epidermis is nothing but the outermost layer of the primary plant body. Epidermis is usually single layered. It is made up of elongated, compactly arranged parenchymatous cells with a small amount of cytoplasm lining the cell wall and the large vacuole. Okay, so epidermis is single layered. You have to remember that it is the outermost layer, and it is made up of elongated, compactly arranged parenchymatous cells with small amount of cytoplasm lining the cell wall and the large vacuole. The outside of the epidermis is often covered with a wax thick layer which is called cuticle. So the outside is covered with the help of a waxy layer, that is cuticle, and this cuticle is required for the prevention of loss of water, and this cuticle is absent in roots because there we need the transportation of water. Okay. So the next one is the stomata. Now these stomata are also present in the epidermal tissue system. These stomata, they are present in the epidermis of leaves. They regulate transpiration and gaseous exchange. The stoma, that are the whole stomata structure, is composed of two bean-shaped cells which are called the guard cells, and in grasses the guard cells are dumbbell shaped. Okay, you have to remember in grasses the guard cells are the dumbbell shaped. So you can see here these all are the stomata. Okay, so you can see here this is a stomata, this is this middle one is the stomatal pore, and the guard cells here are in the shape of a dumbbell. Okay. Now the outer walls of the guard cells away from the stomatal pore are thin, and the inner walls toward the stomatal pore are highly thickened. So if you can see here in the diagram, we're talking about this outer layer. This is the thin wall. Okay, this will have a thin wall, and the inner one, this one, will have a thick wall. Okay, this will help in the opening and closing of the stomata. Now the guard cells possess chloroplast and regulate the opening and closing of the stomata. Sometimes some epidermal cells near the guard cells become specialized in shape and size, and they are called subsidiary cells. Okay, so these cells which are present here, okay, these are the subsidiary cells. This cell you can see here is the subsidiary cells, and they are helping, and they have specialized in shape and size to help the stomata to open and close. Stomatal aperture, guard cells and the surrounding subsidiary cells are together called as the stomatal aperture. Okay, we saw that in grasses it is dumbbell shaped. Okay, so you have to remember that when we talk about the outer walls of the guard cells away from the stomatal pore, okay, they are thin, and inner walls of the stomatal pore are highly thickened. Okay, Now these also possess chloroplasts and regulate the opening and closing of stomata. Sometimes some epidermal cells near the guard cells become specialized in shape and size, and they are called subsidiary cells. Stomatal aperture guard cell and the surrounding subsidiary cells all together form the stomatal apparatus. Okay. Now in stomata, the outer walls of the guard cells away from the stomatal pore are thin and the inner walls are thick. Okay. See here it is a different diagram. You can see here this is the subsidiary cells and the walls, this one will be thin, and the inner wall in the diagram you can see this one is thick. Okay, and this is the opening of the stomatal pore and this is the closing of the stomatal pore, and the subsidiary cells, the guard cells, okay, and the stomatal aperture together all will form the what? It will form what? It will form the stomatal apparatus. Okay, see here you can see this is the stomatal opening. When it is in open position, this is the closed stomata. Okay, now epidermal tissue system or epidermal appendages. Now these are the root hairs and the trichomes. Root hairs, you have to remember, are always unicellular, elongated or elongations of the epidermal cells. They are required for the absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Okay, when we talk about trichomes, epidermal hairs are present on the stem, which are called the trichomes. They are usually multicellular, branched and unbranched, and soft and stiff, and they may be secretory. They prevent water loss due to transpiration. Okay, so these hairs which are present are the root hairs. They help in the absorption of water and minerals. And the trichomes are multicellular. Root hairs are unicellular, but trichomes are multicellular. They can be branched or unbranched, and they help in secretion and they prevent water loss due to transpiration. Okay. Now we come back to the ground tissue system. Okay, we saw the epidermal tissue system. Now we'll see the ground tissue system. Now this ground tissue system, all tissues except epidermis and vascular bundles will constitute the ground tissue. So if you minus the epidermis and the vascular bundles, okay, the other tissues which are left will form the ground tissue. Ground tissue will make a base for the entire tissue system. Okay, it will consist of simple tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. These parenchyma cells are present in cortex, pericycle, pith and medullary rays in the primary stems and roots, and in leaves the ground tissue consists of thin walled chloroplasts containing cells and is called mesophyll. Okay, so when we talk about the ground tissue, it will consist of simple tissues like parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, parenchyma cells are present in cortex, pericycle, pith and medullary rays. In leaves, the ground tissue consists of thin walled chloroplasts containing cells and called mesophyll. Okay. Now comes the vascular tissue system. Now this vascular tissue system consists of complex tissues like xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem together will constitute the vascular bundles. Okay. Based on the presence and absence of cambium, vascular bundles are of two types. One is the open type and other is the closed type. Okay. So these are the phloem. This is the cortex. Okay. Now open type of vascular bundle are the vascular bundle in which cambium is present between the phloem and xylem. So vascular bundles can form secondary xylem and phloem tissue, that is in dicot stem, and closed type of vascular bundle are the bundles in which cambium is absent and hence they do not form secondary tissue. So you will see no secondary growth in the monocot plant. Okay, so you can see here the pink layer which is present is the presence of cambium. Okay, in this diagram this is the open vascular bundle, and in closed vascular bundle you will see there is no cambium. Okay, so in open type of vascular bundle cambium will be present, in closed type of vascular bundle cambium will be absent. Now based on the arrangement of the xylem and phloem, vascular bundles are of two types. Okay, first one is the radial type and the second one is the conjoint type. In the radial type, the xylem and phloem are arranged in alternate manner on different radii. You can see here in the diagram that this is the xylem and this is the phloem, and they are arranged on the radius of the cell. Okay, radius of the tissue system in alternating manner. This type of arrangement is seen in roots. Now when we come to the conjoint type, the name suggests the xylem and phloem are jointly situated at the same radius of the vascular bundle. Okay, this is seen in stem and in leaves. This is the conjoint closed because it is not having cambium, and this is conjoint open, this is having the cambium. Conjoint vascular bundles are usually have phloem located only on the outer side of the xylem. Okay. So this was all about the tissue system.